Welcome to One Little Spice, the Disney food podcast that isn't afraid to send you into the taste lab.
Welcome to episode 13, Royal Feasters. I'm Julie.
And I'm Amy. Alternative title, Julie thinks all the guys working in the Moroccan pavilion are very beautiful.
Hashtag truth. They just have like that perfect caramel complexion, dark hair. So, as you've heard on one of my earlier podcasts, that Aladdin is a third of my dream guy. So they all have very similar looks to Aladdin. I'm just saying. Yo, it's time for Amy's Daily Dish. Amy, what's your dish? Ick, ick, ick.
Let's dish. So item number 1. So this already happened, and we posted about it on our social media, but I still wanted to discuss it because it's pretty cool. So for National Hot Dog Day,
I was just helping you out.
I was like, Casey's in the Magic Kingdom served a 2-foot-long hot dog.
Is it called Casey's Corner? What is it actually called?
It probably does have a
But it actually has a
name.
name. It's not called Casey's My Foot's Asleep. I'll tell you that.
It is not. So they were serving, just that day only, a 2-foot-long hot dog in a 2-foot-long bun, or an appropriate sized bun. You could choose between a regular, like normal hot dog, that you put your ketchup and relish and mustard and whatnot on it, or a chili cheese dog, or mac and cheese as your topping. Now, the pictures of these, which we did post again on social media,
were insane.
Yeah,
and not only was it just a long dog,
it was
it was
well put together.
Basically,
For
the
hot
ratios of this hot dog were all enlarged.
Yes.
It was basically like a mini hot dog in a 2-foot-long size. That was horrible.
That was a terrible description.
Okay, so the ratios were all larger. It wasn't just a skinny dog that was 2 feet long. They increased the entire size of this dog to make it proportionate to the 2-foot length.
Yeah, it was like they attached their normal hot dogs to each other end to end to create this dog.
And now you're saying something completely opposite.
Oh, okay.
They made it thicker.
So it was a very plump hot dog.
Yes.
And, topped, just as intensely, I don't know, intensely is not the right word, topped just as freely is also not the word.
Plentifully?
Thank you. Topped just as...
I don't think that's the right word we're looking for either.
What I'm saying
what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that they didn't skimp on the toppings.
Okay, so say that.
They didn't skimp on the toppings.
What are you trying to say, Amy? Okay, those words that you're trying to say, that sounds perfect. Say that. I've come up with the issue with our podcast. It's not that Amy doesn't know the right things to say. It's that Amy tries to make them sound differently, even though her original thought is absolutely perfect.
So when I was in school, in elementary and in middle school, they occasionally would have foot-long hot dogs. Now, they would be these weird, creepy, rubbery, foot-long hot dogs. I never actually measured, but they were quite large. But they were in a regular-sized bun. So you'd have, bun with 6 inches of hot dog sticking out on either side. When I read that they were having a 2-foot-long hot dog, larger versions of that just went through my mind, and I was really pleased to see the actual hot dog that was 2 feet long with an appropriately sized bun.
Oh my god, the footlongs that hang off the end,
Yes.
Worst ever.
That's exactly what I described while you were texting.
Do you like how I totally didn't pay attention to any of that and still came in with a
Excellent.
Pretty seamless. So I gotta say, half the time I'm not actually paying attention to what I'm listening to, and then I hear Julie, edit that out, and I'm like, oh, gotta listen. Okay, let's go back. Rewind. So it's very helpful that we tell me to do things on the podcast.
Yes. Item 2. Edible raw cookie dough is now available at the All-Star Sports quick service.
Oh my god.
It's exciting.
Sorry, that was my only thought about it. I'm that excited. I'm speechless.
It's a chocolate chip cookie dough, and it's 3 reasonably sized scoops in a cup. You can use a snack credit on this, but it wasn't very expensive to begin with either. So either way, excellent.
I need this really bad.
So
like, when we get there in the morning, when we get back to our hotel,
So
when we're going back to our hotel for pool time, when we're leaving to go back to a resort after pool time is over, I literally just need 3 scoops of cookie dough in my hand at all times, anytime we're at our resort. I'm just saying that's and
the dream.
we could get pictures. We'll just have pictures of me, and it'll look like I'm just eating the same cup of ice cream. Nope, cookie dough, but it will really be like 26 different. And Amy will just be like, and here's another one that Julie got, and here's another one, and we'll just keep a tally mark of how many of these Julie eats on our trip.
Yes, we will. So it's chocolate chip.
Just think if we have snack credits left over at the end of the trip, how much cookie dough I could get. Okay, continue.
So now some people may see this as a negative. I see it as a positive. When you see,
clearly I see it as a positive.
Yeah, she sees. Well, no, I don't see. I see what I. Yeah. So in the photos they show of it, it's 3 very reasonably sized scoops. Not and I know Julie would really like giant scoops of cookie dough.
Nah, I feel like that would be too much.
But I keep saying
especially if I'm going to eat it 8 million times.
That's true. So
I'm glad that you're catching yourself, because I never catch you anymore.
So I don't want to say when cookie dough came into popularity, because cookie dough has always been popular, but when the concept of places selling you cookie dough like ice cream to eat came into popularity. Thing, huh? Yeah, that's within the last couple years.
I kind of feel like Disney dropped the ball with this one. I've been eating cookie dough since the dawn of time, when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Maybe they were seeing if it was gonna last. Who knows?
What does Dame Judi Dench say about the mammoths?
I don't
and
know.
They started working together.
Oh no, that's about the early humans, not about the mammoth. That's when they're killing the mammoth.
They're killing a mammoth. I know she doesn't actually say anything.
Technically, they're not killing a mammoth. They're throwing spears at it because it's always alive. So what I was going to say was, so on all those delightful Facebook, Instagram photos, videos, whatnot, about the, ice cream store style cookie dough store, they are giant servings of cookie dough. And I personally can't imagine anyone eating that amount and feeling good afterwards. So I'm really glad that there's a normal amount. Maybe you can. Can you eat that amount and feel good afterwards? Because it looks like it's an entire, for example, to give our listeners.
So we all know that I can't even eat a tiny serving of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. So how do you think I'm going to do with 3 scoops of cookie dough?
They're like this big.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
I don't know that I could even do that.
Yes.
They're that big. Are you sure? Because we also thought the poutine was only this big from the Daily Poutine, and it's actually this big.
So the scoops appear smaller and not this, giant mound of it. So we'll find out when we get there. If anybody is already at the All-Star Sports and finds this information before November, please let us know.
Does it exist already? Have people eaten it?
Oh, it exists already. On Pinterest and Facebook and Instagram, when the chocolate chip cookie doughs ice cream shop, basically, because that's what they are, came out, there were all these giant, softball-sized servings of cookie dough. And I know I can't eat that much cookie dough, and I know Julie can't eat that much cookie dough all at once or, in the course of an entire day. But the ones in the photo at All-Star Sports seem much smaller. There seems to be a reasonable amount, a decent amount of cookie dough on there, cookie dough in the serving, but it's 3 moderately sized scoops. Enough that your kid's gonna be able to eat it because they're super excited.
So basically when you make chocolate chip cookies and you take an ice cream scoop size.
Like a small disher?
Yeah.
A disher being an ice cream scoop fancy name.
Yeah. But in the scoop form?
Yes.
Normally when it's a cookie, it just melts down into a cookie. So it would be like your kid eating 3 decent-sized chocolate chip cookies. And that's about the size, so they're, this big.
Let me see that real quick.
And it looks like it's 2 scoops in that picture.
Yeah, this is a different...
So they're about this big.
This is a different presentation than the one I saw.
But it looks like it's about the same amount if they're...
Oh, no.
They're
Yeah.
This big
No, the presentation I saw was 3 smaller scoops because all 3 of them fit boom, 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 Mickey Mouse head style in the bottom of the cup.
I do love that they're called edible cookie dough as if cookie dough isn't normally edible.
Well,
Well, I mean, I guess with
eggs.
eggs. I'm very excited for this because we heard about how many I'm going to eat.
I'm excited too because I'll just eat a little bit of Julie's because I know she won't finish the entire cup. Ever.
Clearly, you've never met me in cookie dough. Item 3!
Yes, item 3. An Incredibles Red Velvet Cupcake is now available at MGM Hollywood Studios. It's a red velvet cupcake topped with red and yellow cream cheese frosting, and an Incredibles plaquette marquette, what would we call it? Like one of those little white chocolate printed things. What am I calling that? I can't think of the name. So one of those little white chocolate...
I'd call it a white chocolate plaque.
Yeah, a white chocolate plaque with Incredibles logoiness on it.
Is it the circly logo with the eye?
I believe so, yes. It is currently found at Rosie's All-American Cafe. I believe it is going down towards Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror and Fantasmic and the Beauty and the Beast live show. And I think I covered all of those items, things down there.
And where you got the pickle the last time? That was a really good pickle.
It was excuse me. It was a really good pickle. Item 4. There are new items on the Marrakesh restaurant menu, which we will talk about shortly.
Like, right now. Well, I mean, not right now, because we're going to talk about other things to do with Restaurant Marrakesh. So this week concludes our favorite single credit meals, and we are going out with a bang. We are talking about Restaurant Marrakesh. It's amazing. It's wonderful. We super love it there. So we're going to go in. So it's the restaurant in Morocco, the sit-down restaurant in Morocco.
Well,
and you basically go all the way to the back, and boom, there it is.
Yeah. There's also Spice Road Table, which is up
But that's
near
like the quick service.
Yeah, well, no, it's not.
It's
no,
not,
no.
but it's not.
No, Spice Road Table is the one up by the water. That is a sit-down, but it's not a dining credit one.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that one's kind of like its own?
Yeah, it's like a tapas type restaurant, small plates, tiny things, deliciousness. And then there's the quick service, which is up, to the front of the pavilion, but not.
Yeah, so it's the sit-down restaurant that you can use dining credit for.
And it is delicious. It's really underrated, in my opinion.
So if we try to get reservations the next time and you are all excited about it and we can't get reservations, we'll be sad, but also really happy.
Exactly. This is definitely a reservation. This is definitely a restaurant that, for whatever reason, it being underrated, you can usually get reservations a lot easier.
So much so that there is one of the restaurateurs standing out front showing you pictures of the restaurant, trying to get you to eat there.
Yes, it's really good, but you can get walk-up because people don't know it's there.
Yeah, it's all the way in the back, too. It's not in the front anywhere. I almost didn't know how to get there. So this is what Disney says about Restaurant Marrakesh. Feast on such Moroccan delicacies as roast lamb, shish kebab, couscous, and brochette of chicken. Stained glass chandeliers bathe diners in a warm, dim glow, all while intricate tile mosaics evoke timeless majesty. Select an a la carte favorite or partake in a culinary adventure with a feast featuring hearty meats, Moroccan pastries, and more. Children can also choose from kid-friendly fare like chicken tenders, pasta, and hamburgers. That Moroccan children food.
Mm-hmm.
In the splendor of a sultan's palace, belly dancers entertain guests with spirited movements to percussive live music.
So, one thing quick that it says it bathes diners in a warm, dim glow. It's not a dark restaurant.
Not at all. It's very bright.
That description makes it sound like it's going to be one of those restaurants where you're like...
It just is a very warmly lit. It's not like harsh lighting.
Yeah, if I am remembering correctly, and I'm pulling up a photo, there's all sorts of fun, there's regular overhead lighting, but there's all sorts of fun lanterns and whatnot hanging. Sometimes there's some color to them.
It's basically like 14,000 chandeliers or what lights this, and it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah, and it's very light, and you can see all your food, and I just wanted to make that quite clear, because their description makes it a little iffy sounding.
But so you walk in, and there is a large open ballroom And it has vaulted ceilings. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's exposed wood. There's a lot of mosaic tiles, like they were saying in their description. It's really ornate, but not over the top, if that makes sense. And it's just, you walk in and you really get the feeling like you're walking into a restaurant in Morocco. It's really beautiful.
Now, one of the reasons it feels so authentic, and actually one of the reasons why the entire pavilion is drastically differently set up and feels very different from the other international pavilions and World Showcase, is because the King of Morocco sent his architects to basically design the Moroccan pavilion and the restaurant and everything to make sure it really felt like Morocco.
I did not know that. That is really awesome.
Yeah, that is why, as you were saying, you have to go all the way to the back to get to the restaurant. Even if you're not eating here, go into the Moroccan pavilion. Walk around every little room you can find, every little shop, every little area. It's just so nice and so beautifully set up, and it's so real to Morocco.
Well, I know, and I feel like walking in there, I do feel like actually immersed in Moroccan culture, and you go through all the little shops, and there's not a lot of There's not a lot of room to move around, but that's basically how the shops were. They're smaller shops.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things that you can look at, and it's King's architects designed it. So
to use an example out of Disney cinema, it's like you're in the marketplace of Aladdin and you're walking around people and sticking your head into little shops to see what the merchants have for you to purchase.
Don't steal any apples.
Don't
steal. I'm
any
looking at you.
apples.
Boo.
But yeah, so that's sort of an important thing to know. Another fun thing about the restaurant that I don't believe has changed, but little mini history lesson. The relations between the United States and Morocco date back to 1777, when the Sultan of Morocco included the United States on a list of countries whose ships were allowed to visit their ports. The Moroccan-U.S. relations pretty much go back to before we are officially 100% our own country.
It's really cool. I didn't realize that. I was just reading up more about it.
I know, they used to have a letter in Marrakesh that was related to this, but I think they might have moved it or something, and I can't determine exactly which letter that was. But if you want to look for it, it's in French. So that letter was written in French, which at the time was the international language of diplomacy, and it, at the very least, used to hang a copy of it in Restaurant Marrakesh for you to find. I haven't checked the last time I was there, so I'm not sure if it's still there, but it used to be. And that letter is one of the reasons why during the World Wars, the United States made sure not to accidentally hurt Morocco, because they really are one of our oldest allies. It makes complete sense that they would be one of the international pavilions in Epcot. In my opinion, anyways.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, because it does seem like one of those random things, like Morocco of all the countries to be a part of it.
of all the Middle Eastern countries to be part of it. That was the one that...
But that's a really cool story. That's awesome. So when you walk in, you'll see a band straight ahead. I love that transition. How'd I do there?
You
awesome.
did good.
Terrible. And then there is a stage where belly dancers come out. It's so wonderful. And then there's seating on all sides. And then there is, on the right, steps to walk up to like a little platform section of seating as well. Mm-hmm. And then I call them grandiose decorations, and they really are. But they're not too over the top, like I was saying before. They fit, and they're beautiful, and...
Yeah, they're accurate, they fit, they don't look like somebody tried too hard, they don't look like somebody tried to make something look fancy and grand. It's just grand and...
Because that is the Moroccan culture.
Yes. Magnificent.
I wrote gold and shiny things. Technical term here.
Yes.
So the menu is a little bit weird. The lunch doesn't have the royal feast, which is okay. But then there's also other items on the lunch menu, like appetizers, that aren't on the dinner menu. So I don't know if they're not actually on the dinner menu or the website just screwed it up a bit. Because I remember every time we've gone, there have been appetizers. So I don't know.
Yeah, it might be a website blip. But I know that this is one of the places that the lunch menu, at least last time I went, was smaller than the dinner menu. They recently switched that up for the majority of restaurants in Disney. The menu
This lunch menu is larger than the dinner menu.
It's larger.
Yeah, because there's appetizers and meals. There just isn't the royal feast.
Maybe that's true.
It's very strange.
We'll have to go and investigate.
I have no problem with that. All right, so
You can talk to some nice Moroccan men.
So for lunch, the appetizers, they have a taste of Moroccan salad, which is one of the new items that they added to the menu.
Yes.
That Amy was talking about earlier. So it has a green pepper and tomato salad, marinated of olives, and then a carrot, potato, and cucumber salad. Nope, that's a lie. So it comes with green peppers and tomatoes mixed together in a salad, marinade of olives in a salad, carrots in its own little salad, potatoes in its own little salad, and then a cucumber salad.
All
and
the
then
salads.
It's served as 5 little different salads, and I believe it comes with some sort of pita bread to enjoy with it as well.
We found a picture, or should I say, Julie found a picture, and it looks really fun. It would be a great appetizer for the whole table.
And it's
not
something that's
just
really good that's not too heavy,
Yes.
and it's more of a fresh, flavorful deliciousness.
Yes.
I want it.
I want it too. We should just go and
that's
get
actually
just
what's served as the appetizer with the royal feast instead of the salad and little.
I like that because the salad they were serving was just a basic salad.
It was still delicious.
It was still
but it was
delicious,
like a
but
basic
it
salad
was-
with some Moroccan-ish kind of dilly dressing,
Yes.
which was super delicious. But this just seems more authentic.
Yes.
And then they also have goat cheese with crispy bread,
I like all those things.
mixture of cheese and Kalamata olives served with tabbouleh, red pepper sauce, and balsamic vinegar reduction. Everything on this menu just seems so healthy.
It does. It's a lot. It's
And
it's
there
a
are
lot
a
of very
couple
healthy food.
little fried things, but most the baklava. No, the baklava is even baked, but some of them looked like they weren't.
It's a good example of Moroccan food, in my opinion. It has different cooking techniques, different flavors, but the flavor profiles are all definitely Moroccan. They don't suddenly here and then side of French fries, because why not? They
Wait till we get to the kids menu, Amy.
Well, that's the kids menu. I am going to flip the page. Done.
So they have harira soup, which is a traditional hearty soup with tomatoes, eggs, lentils, and beef. Yum. Why have we never gotten this? Because it's 1,000,000 degrees and we don't get soup. But I hear hot soup is supposed to cool you down, so perhaps
that's where we're
because
missing
hot
out
tea
on.
makes you cool.
Yes.
So maybe we'll have to try this together because that just sounds super delicious.
I think a lot of time we either get the royal feast and we're just have all the food.
Well, because it comes with its own appetizer.
Yeah, it
and
comes with its
dessert,
own
so.
appetizer and all that, and it's just a minor upcharge on the
I've
dining
never
plan.
gotten not the royal feast because it's just so good I can't resist.
Did
Because
you
I
get-
can never choose.
Did you get it when we were down with Karen? Oh, no. I got kebabs that time.
I know.
But no,
I
the
got
royal
Royal
feast is really good.
I was ready for that upcharge. I was ready.
We'll get there, royal feast. We'll get there.
So there's also an appetizer sampler platter for 2, which comes with beef bruat rolls, chicken bastilla, and jasmine salad. And I believe those two, the beef and the chicken, are both served in the
Philo.
filo dough. And jasmina salad, I assume. I have no idea.
I think it's just a salad.
That's probably the salad that we had before.
Yeah.
Is
the next one new?
I don't know. We've never gotten appetizers before.
I know, but I read the menu.
No, I know. The next item is Moroccan merguez sausage, which is served with tomato, red onion, and cilantro salad. What?
Sounds really
delicious.
tasty.
I love cilantro. Almost as much as I love arugula.
It's true.
Maybe that's why I like the arugula chimichurri so much, because it's arugula and cilantro mixed together. Hashtag arugula. Hashtag arugula.
Hashtag arugula.
You know, because pronunciation, because before it came out, hashtag arugula. The next item is beef bruat rolls, which are... Oh, here we go. This is the actual description of the item that was in the sampler platter. It is baked layers of thin pastry stuffed with seasoned minced beef, fried and sprinkled with cinnamon and powdered sugar.
that's what they gave Amanda instead of the next item when she went with us because she was pregnant and didn't want her to have
Right, because
seafood.
that used to be part of the
Yeah,
royal feast. I
the
think
next
now
item
beef one
used to
is.
be part of the royal feast, and they switched it out for our friend Amanda because she was pregnant and she couldn't really be eating shellfish or seafood or something.
Seafood in general. You
Yeah.
gotta be careful with it. So the next one is the seafood bastilla, which is baked layers of thin pastry filled with grouper, shrimp, and mushrooms. Yum. I almost thought it said scallops and not shrimp and got really sad for you there for a second. So the next one is the chicken bastilla, which is similar. It's baked layers of thin pastry filled with minced chicken and almonds, sprinkled with cinnamon and powdered sugar as well. This next one I think we absolutely have to try.
Oh, yeah.
Just wait for it. Mussels Casablanca. They are PEI mushrooms. Nope. PEI mussels, which is Prince Edward Island, for those of you who don't know what PEI stands for. That's in Canada.
And any seafood from PEI you should
Is
just
amazing.
Yes, you should just say yes to because it's a very small area and
it's nice cold water, so it's just
it's
such
cold water, clean water,
fresh
it's
tasting
beautiful.
seafood.
I got oysters up there one time and they were on the coast and I asked, "Where do you get the oysters from?" and the lady pointed out the window.
Yeah, I love when I get oysters anywhere and they say they're from PEI, or PEI is an option for the oysters that I can choose. PEIs and Wellfleets are my favorites.
I go with PEI and whatever's most local.
All right, so those are steamed mussels. Our steamed mussels served with capers, tomatoes, and a saffron cream sauce.
Yes, now that we're done telling you how wonderful the mussels will be, here's what's actually in them. Lunch entrees.
So the lunch entrees are a chicken lemon... I should read that in the right order. Are a lemon chicken tangine, which is braised half chicken with garlic, green olives, and preserved ham. So like prosciutto?
Yeah, the tangine or tagine, depending on who spells it, I guess. It's referring to a particular type of cooking vessel that basically looks like a plate or bowl with a funnel upturned on it. And it basically directs the moisture back towards the dish as it cooks. I don't have one, but Le Creuset makes one, and I want one. In cassis.
No, I want the purple one. The fancy purple.
Oh, the Provence. They don't make it in Provence as of yet. They did at one point make it in cassis, which is a dark purple.
So that dish sounds super delicious. The next one is the beef couscous marozia. Marozia?
Marozia. I don't know. I just made that up.
Nope.
No, I didn't make it up. I just tried to read it.
Aha. So that is braised. I believe it's supposed to say braised beef. Served with raisins, honey, sesame seeds, and eggs. Also couscous, because that's in the title. And then there's a couscous with vegetables, which is steamed tiny semolina pasta with vegetables.
Which is what which is what Cusco is now. Which is what couscous is. Is the
Cusco.
couscous. Couscous, not Cusco.
She almost said Cusco again.
I did like 4 times. Couscous is small semolina
It's not
pasta.
gluten-free.
It is not.
Got all excited. Yes, gluten-free. I can eat my couscous. No, you can't.
There's not a whole lot. Gluten does not kill Julie. It just
Upsets her
excessive
tummy.
amounts of it obsesses her. It obsesses your tummy. It upsets your tummy.
So this is actually the meal that we're going to make on our next vlog. I was sick this past weekend when we were supposed to be making it, so it did not happen. So it probably won't come out till the middle of August because I go on vacation next week. But we're going to do a 7 vegetable couscous and then braise a beautiful leg of chicken as well to go along with it. And it will be amazing and delicious. And we're very excited to share it with you. It's just going to be a little while, so we certainly appreciate your patience with that.
You can find that on the Taste Lab on YouTube.
Yep, just search the Taste Lab or click on the links in the description. The next item is the grilled beef tenderloin shish kebab, which is grilled tenderloin of beef with mixed vegetables and yellow rice. The chicken kebabs are next, which are similar, are brochettes of chicken breast, olive salad, and dried fruit sweet couscous. Yum.
Yum.
That's what you got, right? Last time?
I got the beef shish kebab, but at the time it definitely had the same I might have gotten the chicken. I remember the dried.
You definitely got chicken because it was a tiny bit overcooked.
That's right. Okay, because I remember the chicken was less making note on my mind, but that dried fruit sweet couscous was really good, and it wasn't like sweet. You know, it was just you had dried fruit in it. I'm trying to think of a good example.
All I can think of is couscous. Like, if you've ever had
Well, I mean, like in
a
regards to
couscous with like
sweetness.
currants or something like
Yes,
that, that's
yes.
the sweetness. It's not insanely sweet, but it's still got a sweetness to it.
Yeah, so they didn't add sweeteners to the couscous, but it was cooked with some dried fruit pieces, and it was delicious. And
I remember trying some, even though I had oodles of food with my feast.
yeah, she did. But yeah, the chicken, was good. The olive salad was good, but it was that couscous that was really good. The next item is roasted lamb shank, which both Julie and I have had, and it's amazing.
So I've had my lamb shank as part of my royal feast. Amy got it as just your meal once.
Well,
right?
yeah, I've gotten it both as part of the royal feast and then just as my meal. And just as my meal.
So by itself, it's served with mixed vegetables, yellow rice, zucchinis, caper, lemon, confit, and tomatoes. And I believe the royal feast one is served on top of this as well.
Yeah, I believe so.
Or, no, I think the royal feast is just little couscous and big couscous.
That's right. It comes with a couple of little couscouses. Well, when we get to it, we'll go over what it currently has. They definitely have changed it, I think, a little bit.
Just slightly, but enough.
Yeah, just enough that it's messing us up.
So the next item is the braised beef short ribs, Meshoy style, with garlic aged butter and cumin salt, roasted garlic mashed potatoes, and baby carrots.
So, braised beef short ribs a la Julie.
Yeah, that sounds magical.
It does. It sounds really magical.
Basically, braised short ribs with all the garlic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I don't have a problem with this at all. Maybe when I get a Le Creuset of my own, that will be the first meal that I make in it.
Smart.
So there are a couple things. So we're making a lot of simpler meals now because Amy works 7 days a week.
All the time.
And so in the winter, we're going to get a little bit more in depth with our cooking and revisit a few of these restaurants and make some more intricate dishes for you guys. We're really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next is the pan-seared lamb medallion. Pan-seared lamb loin medallions and hummus rosemary pancakes.
This also looks amazing.
It sounds delicious. My mouth is watering so hard right now.
Comes with zucchini, olives, and roasted garlic au jus. I want that. I want that in my mouth right now.
That just sounds to die for. And you know that lamb is probably cooked to perfection.
They really, especially
I've
the
never
lamb.
had a lamb there that wasn't cooked.
No,
well.
especially their lamb. They cook it amazing.
The next item is the shrimp chermoula tangine, which is artichoke bottoms, pearl onions, small potatoes, and saffron anise broth, which to Julie sounds not so good because she doesn't like licorice.
I think it sounds tasty.
I mean, I bet it'll probably be good with the whole flavor profile there.
Yeah.
Because it's not just anise, and I would definitely try it. But Julie and licorice are not friends.
See,
although I eat pasailis and Italian cookies.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it wouldn't be overbearing or overwhelming on this because I
imagine
they have a very balanced flavor profiles on all their menu items that we have had.
I just feel like I'll see a little star anise in my food and freak out.
I'll just pick it out for you.
So the next is the North Atlantic salmon. Very authentic. Pan-seared salmon with mushrooms, hummus, and olive harissa tomato concasse.
I like that they took North Atlantic salmon because that's something you're pretty much going to find at every sit-down restaurant in Disney World. But I like that they didn't just, and we'll throw some lemon on it and a side of couscous. They actually put some good effort into it to make it in the correct flavor profile. The next item we will get to in a moment.
So harissa is hot chili pepper paste.
Yes.
So the next item is the Mogador grouper tangine.
The Mordor.
I was literally just thinking the same thing. I was just going to tell a story, but every time I see that, all I think is Mordor. The Eye of Sauron.
It's been a really intense Lord of the Rings day for me today.
Has it? Oh, yeah. Oh, I also gave you lambus bread.
Yep.
So the Mogador grouper tangine is marinated with olives, lemon confit, potatoes, green peppers, and chermoula.
Chermoula?
Can you tell that I don't know how to pronounce that?
Chermoula?
Yeah.
Chermoula?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just trying.
So for desserts at lunchtime, they have the pastilla for one, which is crispy leaves of pastry topped with vanilla ice cream and sprinkled with cinnamon, powdered sugar, and toasted almonds.
It's similar, if I'm remembering correctly, in composition to baklava.
So they also have pastilla for two, which is the same thing, but enough for 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not reading the exact same thing again. The next thing... No, it's just crispy leaves of pastry. It's and toasted almonds. Never mind. So warm beignets and sweet cream, which are fried with spiced sugar, cinnamon, and cloves, topped with toasted almonds and choice of dark chocolate or caramel sauce.
So I feel like that's definitely been there, but I feel like they didn't used to call it beignets. That or they replaced the...
I don't know, because we've never had that because we just get the pastilla that comes with the royal feasts. Or not dessert at all.
Yeah, when I went there that time myself, I looked over things a lot. But I didn't get that, but I remember there being a fried dough type product with sweet cream and all that other stuff. I just don't know if they were calling it beignets at the time.
Probably not. The next thing is almond orange blossom water tart, which has raspberry and orange coulis on top of said tart.
Orange blossom water is a traditional flavoring used in Morocco and other Middle Eastern dishes.
And the Marrakesh Delight is fresh fruit salad topped with mint ice cream, toasted almonds, and orange blossom water.
That's what I got when I went
solo. I'm going to try it again. Marrakesh Delight is fresh fruit salad topped with mint ice cream, toasted almonds, and orange blossom water.
That's what I got when I went. I don't know if it's how they normally serve it, but when I was served it, they gave it to me with mint chocolate chip ice cream. I was expecting just mint ice cream, and it was delicious with mint chocolate chip, but it was definitely not what I was expecting. So I don't know if they normally...
I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not sure if they normally just serve it with like just a straight mint, and they ran out and put mint chocolate chip. But I feel like...
a statement? A statement?
But we might find it again if I decide I want to try it again.
And the Moroccan Symphony is assorted Moroccan baklavas.
And it's delicious.
That was really anticlimactic.
It was. And it's delicious, but it's not my baklava. And I'm not saying that I make baklava better than people from Morocco. I just make really good baklava.
I've never had this baklava. I cannot comment.
I haven't made it in a really long time. I will have to make it. Maybe it'll be one of our taste labs.
I like that idea. So for dinner, they have the same entrees. They do not have a list of appetizers, but they have the Taste of Morocco, which used to be called the Royal Feast. They used to have like a Royal Feast and another feast.
Yeah, there were 2 different. One was called the Royal Feast. It was the fancier of the 2.
And then one was just kind of like some stuff.
Yeah. There is with the feast a lot of food, but there was a lot more food with the Royal Feast than there was with whatever the other food feast was.
This comes with the Taste of Moroccan salads, which we talked about with the appetizers. And then it comes with couscous royale, which is served in a traditional tagine, however you pronounce that. And it is choice of beef tenderloin, shish kebab with chicken brochettes, merguez sausage, and braised lamb, or couscous and 7 vegetables served with steamed semolina pasta. When we got it, it was all 3 of these.
Yes, literally. It was all of that.
So I'm going to be really disappointed if they've changed it because I loved getting all 3.
I did too.
And then dessert is assorted baklavas. Now this, when we got it, was incredible. There was an entire leg of chicken.
Mm-hmm.
There was an entire lamb shank, like the one that you get with the normal sized meal.
Yes.
And this ginormous plate of couscous. And I don't think the beef kebabs were in it. That's what it was. There were not beef kebabs or chicken kebabs. It was just the lamb, the chicken,
and then the super veggie
vegetables.
couscous.
That's what it was.
So we were kind of going through it. So the lamb shake in particular is really just amazing. It's braised, as we've said about 4 times when we're describing this, but it has a nice thick sauce from the braising. They bring it down. It's a nice thick sauce. It's coating everything. They don't like skimp on it or anything like that. It's just absolutely beautiful. Flavors are perfect. It doesn't overpower the lamb.
And the lamb is cooked perfectly. It has
Yeah.
this nice crispy outer layer, but everything inside is just juicy and delicious, and it's got that rare lamb that you want, and it was just to die for. Also, on the trip that Amy and I and Amanda
And my parents.
and her parents went on, we went to dinner with her parents and Amanda, and I think every single one of us got the royal feast that night.
Every single one of us got the royal feast.
How can you not? It's just a great combination of everything that they have on the menu all at once. But it was a lot of food. And still, I ate all of mine, and then probably most of Amanda's lamb shank because she wasn't really feeling it because of the pregnancy.
Yeah.
And then I ate your entire leg of lamb. And
No,
then I
you
think
did not eat my
not your
entire
lamb,
leg.
sorry, your chicken leg.
Yeah, I had a few bites, but I was all about that lamb shank.
No, I ate your entire chicken leg.
Yes.
And then I think your dad gave me the rest of his chicken leg. And I think I had the rest of your mom's couscous.
Yeah.
And so not only did I finish my royal feast, but I basically finished an entire other royal feast.
This was the meal that confirmed the title of Julie as the human garbage disposal.
So true. Do you want to tell the story about our waiter?
So the waiter was very nice and very sweet, and Julie found him very beautiful. So Julie was particularly fond of him and was flirting with him. And as a good waiter, he was flirting back in a non-creepy way. And ever since then, to this day, my dad will not let Julie forget that she was flirting with the very nice waiter from Marrakesh.
I was just smiling and giggling.
I know, but it's my dad.
I was just smiling and giggling. He was nice and he was sweet, and we exchanged glances and smiles, and then he was just gone from my life forever. He was my Aladdin. Just saying.
So, are there any of the normal non-dinner feast entrees on the menu? It looks like they're all, the same. Okay, so repeat the menu items we talked about for lunch. No, I wasn't telling you to do. I was saying to our listeners.
Let's see. We also went on a trip with Karen.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. It was just me and Amy that made the reservation, and we added a third to our party. And like we said, it's not always super busy there, so they were super accommodating. Yeah, no, perfect. Yeah, we'll get you guys in. What did she even order? She's not much of an eater.
She definitely
eats.
She definitely likes food.
Doesn't eat food the way Julie eats food.
Or
the way I
Amy
eat
eats
food.
She definitely likes food, but
I like to shove my face with all the delicious food, and she's a little bit more refined with her eating habits.
I get the way to say it is she's less about the experience for her. She definitely enjoys good food, but it's less about the experience with her. I mean, than it is for us. Because for us, part of being in Disney is the food, and that's part of the experience for us. For her, it's more the parks itself. But yeah, so shout out to my cousin Karen, who tags along to all the restaurants I want to go to.
Yes, even if you may not really want to eat at those restaurants, you still find something to eat there, and we had a lot of fun with you on your trip.
Yes.
Our trip with you.
Yes. And she is wonderful.
Did she come to Yak and Yeti? No, we did Yak and Yeti before she got there
Yes.
for our ahi tuna nachos.
Yes.
And then we met up with her later in the trip. I don't even remember what we ate that day. Amy and I basically go to Disney and plan our trip around food. And Karen goes and plans her trip around Disney and eats when she's hungry.
Which is a perfectly acceptable
I think a lot of
way
I think
to
a
do
lot
it.
of people do that. I'm not sure the people listening to this podcast do because they're obviously listening to hear about the Disney food, but everybody Disney's different. Amy and I just Disney the exact same way, and it works.
Yeah. It worked out. It works out quite well.
I was like, wait, what? Is there something you're not telling me? So the next is the kids' food. Actually, some of the kids' food is very Moroccan styled. A couple things are, more generic food in case they're not adventurous, which is awesome.
And then there's fish nuggets.
I'm very excited about the fish. I was very excited about the fish nuggets.
I like them. I just laughing because that's neither specifically Moroccan nor
or not Moroccan, I know.
Yeah, and usually it's like fish sticks or fish fingers. Here it's fish nuggets.
I'm very excited. So the kids' appetizers, the beef bruat, which is the baked layers of thin pastry filled with seasoned minced beef, fried and sprinkled with powdered sugar. A jasmina salad, which we figure out what it is now because the description's actually here. Romaine lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and cucumber with fat-free ranch dressing.
Yep, that was what it was.
Yep, that's what we thought it was.
I feel like when we had it, it was wasn't. Yeah, it was a slightly more. It was a creamy base dressing like ranch is, but it was a different flavor profile than ranch dressing is.
Yep. The next is the entrees. They have chicken nuggets, which are breaded and fried chicken served with French fries. There's your French fries that you said they didn't have.
French
fries. Beef kebabs, cubed of grilled beef tenderloins served with French fries. A hamburger served on a bun with French fries. Moroccan-style pasta served with meatballs in tomato sauce.
I'm hoping that is pasta and meatballs with sauce, but it's Moroccan spiced. It might just be pasta and meatballs with red sauce, but
It says it's Moroccan style.
hopefully it is.
They also have fish nuggets
Fish nuggets!
served with French fries. I wonder if they are actually just fish sticks.
So if you're there and you have a kid and they get fish nuggets, please take a photo and send it to us.
Yeah, let us know. I'm curious. And then the kids' dessert is ice cream, a chocolate chip cookie, or fresh fruit salad of the season.
You would think they would put baklava on it, but it's possible that someone might order it not realizing there's nuts in it.
I suppose, but it's in the description, and adults have nut allergies too.
I know, but little kid might be like, I want this. Just thinking a reason for it.
Well, we covered those anecdotes.
Yes, we do. Yep, even the Amanda was pregnant trip. Hey, fun fact. Aria's birthday, the one she was pregnant with, was last week. You were right. I was doing math in my head wrong.
And when this comes out, it will be like 3 days ago. So, this restaurant, we super highly recommend it. It's kind of the diamond in the rough.
I'm glad you didn't write that there.
I know, I
I
just
would
thought of it off the
react
top of my head. I mean, honestly, you probably would have reacted the same way anyway because you never read our podcast out loud. Just
I read it.
saying,
You saw me
just
read
saying.
it. So, if you have members of your dining party who are concerned that they are not going to like the food at Marrakesh.
Amy, you say this every episode.
I know, it's become a thing. Specifically with Marrakesh, as I have described it to
It passes the Helen test.
Oh yeah, it absolutely passes the Helen test. So
The Helen test?
it absolutely passes the Helen test. So, but it's basically meat and the equivalent of rice
Or like there
or
is
rice
some
and
rice.
potatoes. Yeah, rice and potatoes type of a thing, a starch.
And the flavors aren't too intense. It's
Yeah.
a very subtle blend of delicious flavors, but none of them are too overpowering that it's going to be too intense for someone who maybe has a more sensitive palate.
Yeah, so if they're not used to a whole lot of spices or seasoning, they should still be fine. It's not that in your face. It's just...
And a lot of the flavors come from the roasting, from the vegetables, from the juices seeping into the couscous and cooking that way. Because, like we said, in a tagine, it basically
Bastes
rotates
itself.
and bastes itself. And exactly. So you're getting a lot of the flavors from that. It's not necessarily an addition of a lot of extra spices and things like that.
So if they like grandma's pot roast, pretty good chance.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good analogy.
Yeah, it's basically a
Life
slightly...
is like a box of chocolate. Sorry, I said that like Forrest Gump, so I had to continue. Sorry, continue.
But yeah, so for whatever reason, this restaurant isn't as popular as it should be. Go visit Marrakesh. If you're there and you haven't made reservations, go anyways because it's usually pretty easy to
The
get
next
in.
time I try and make a reservation, I want to have difficulty getting a reservation, guys. Make your reservations. Eat there. It's delicious.
And you get live entertainment, which we really only briefly talked about.
Sorry, I didn't want to ruin the
I'm just gonna
the
say it's-
excitement.
I'm not
of-
gonna ruin it, but there's live entertainment.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
And it's interactive.
Yes, it is.
All right, so that brings us to our fan favorite food segment.
Woo!
Our fan favorite food this week comes from Jamie McGuire, who shared her story with us on our Facebook page.
Thank you, Jamie.
And Jamie says, my favorite memory is the first 5-generation trip I did with my family. We had our first Disney meal together at Chef Mickey's. It was amazing to see the characters interact with my grandparents and her great-great-grandchildren. We are taking the trip again in October, and we will also be celebrating my grandmother's 90th birthday.
Happy birthday, Grandma. Super early.
And I think this is awesome. She shared a picture with us as well, which we're going to share with everyone. And
She said we could?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And it's just so cool to see so many different generations enjoying Disney together. Because Disney really is a place for the entire family. It's not just for kids. So it's really cool that, and even the characters, like she said, they interact with everyone. So they were interacting with the grandparents and the great-great-grandchildren. It's just an awesome, awesome time in Disney, and everybody should go. And I'm so excited for your next trip in October. So I hope you have more awesome stories to share with us.
That's really exciting, the generations together. Even though my grandparents lived 2 hours from Disney World, at least in my memory, I don't think we ever went, like, my parents and I and my brothers and my grandparents. We would go visit my grandparents and then go to Disney World and then go back and visit my grandparents and then go to, that sort of thing. So it's really exciting to hear about families going all together, enjoying Disney as a whole. And Chef Mickey's seems like a good place to do that because there's so many food options.
So, thank you so much, Jamie, for sharing your memory. If you would like to share your favorite Disney food memory with us and be featured on one of our episodes, please send your stories to onelittlespice@gmail.com or share your story in the comments section of our pinned Facebook post. We have run out of food memories, so we really want to hear from you. We really want to share your favorite food memories, so please, please, if you've been hesitating or thinking about it, please send them in so we can share them on our podcast. We love reading them, we love hearing them, and we love being able to share them with the rest of our fans as well. But we want to hear from any memory you have from Disney World, Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, Hong Kong, Shanghai. We haven't been to half of those parks, so hearing stories from across the pond would be really awesome too. Disneyland Tokyo. They're all places that we really want to go, and we see awesome food. So any stories that you have from any of these places, please share them with us. We would love to hear all about them and share them with everybody. You can follow us on social media. On Twitter, we are at One Little Spice. On Instagram, we are at @1_little_spice. And on Facebook, we are at One Little Spice. Make sure you join our One Little Spice group on Facebook to talk about all things Disney food. To talk about each episode and all things Disney food. There are 3 questions to answer once you hit join. It's just so we can learn even more about our fans. If you have any thoughts or comments to add to our upcoming podcast, share on social media, or please email us at onelittlespice@gmail.com. You could join us on Patreon for exclusive access to the Magical Snack Corner, which is our bi-monthly exclusive episode about Disney snacks. We released our episode about our Dole Whips to the world because it was my birthday and because I said so. And starting tonight, we talk about
food and wine.
And we go into depth about all of the booze and all of the food. And that's something that you're not going to get on our regular episode. We're going to talk about briefly on a special episode that should be coming out in the next couple weeks about the overview of what Food and Wine is and the festival and what you can expect from it. But all the in-depth episodes and information will be on our Patreon episode of Magical Snack Corner.
And when we say starting on the next Magical Snack Corner, we mean starting on the next Magical Snack Corner because it's going to pretty much run almost through the Food and Wine Festival, I believe. We have our Magical Snack Corners scheduled.
So we have Magical Snack Corners scheduled through the end of November is when we finish up with Food and Wine. I think we actually finish up with Food and Wine the week before Food and Wine actually finishes, so before the end of November. So Food and Wine is going to take us for the next few months, and we are so excited to go in depth and get deep and sweaty, if you will, into all the wonderful things at Food and Wine. Actually, deep and sweaty is probably not how you want to get around food, but it's going to happen. So you also get a chance to co-host a Magical Snack Corner with us, a live monthly Google Hangout with us, and much more. If any of that sounds awesome, head over to www.patreon.com/onelittlespice and choose your support level. By supporting us on Patreon, you are helping us to bring you even more awesome Disney food content more often. When we reach our first goal, and we are so close, we can start creating our webpage where we will give you even more Disney food content all in one place, and we'll be able to share all of our food pictures and stories there and hear from you too. We're also on TeePublic, and if you search One Little Spice or click on the link in the description, you can get t-shirts, mugs, cell phone cases, and even more with our logo on it, so you can support us that way and show off your One Little Spice swag. And we are on YouTube. So we are on the Taste Lab. You can search that on YouTube. And on this month's Taste Lab, on last month's Taste Lab, we were in Akershus and we recreated the vegetable terrine that we had on our trip. And you can check out our first episode too, which is up, and that's where we make Le Cellier's cheddar cheese soup. Our next episode is going to be the 7-vegetable couscous with roasted chicken leg.
We may come back and do the roasted lamb leg in the winter, in the fall.
That'll definitely happen. So make sure you subscribe to the Taste Lab too, so you are up to date and you are the first one to see our new episodes when they are released. They come out every month. This one is going to be a little later. We appreciate your patience, but it is coming to you, we promise. And if you get a chance to make any of these recipes, please share your pictures or videos in the comments and let us know what you think, because we love seeing your Disney magic too.
We love all your feedback.
And that is all that we have to say. Thank you so much for listening. And just remember, every recipe starts with one little spice.
Goals.
When I was a lad in school.
I won't eat it. It's a star anise. I have to chomp on it for a while.
Yeah, I can't deal with it.
And then I'll start choking, and then...
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. Let's not get that dramatic.
Are there eggs in this? I know, but I've seen it spelled both ways is what I'm getting at.
Well, they're spelling it wrong.
Okay.
Stainless glass. Nope.
Stainless glass. It's clear. Julie, edit it out. I can't tense properly.
There you go.